All right, in this video, we are going to work problem 4.138 from our book. It says protective orders in the article Judicial Dispositions of Ex parte and Domestic Violence Protection Order Hearings, a comparative analysis of victim requests and court authorized relief in the Journal of Family Violence. D. Yearwood looked at the discrepancies between what a victim of domestic violence requests and what the courts reward. The following contingency table cross-classifies by race and gender a sample of 407 domestic violence protective orders from the North Carolina Criminal Justice Analysis Center. All right, so here you can see the contingency table, and it's classified by race across here and then gender here. It says compute the following conditional probabilities directly. That is, do not use the conditional probability rule. One of these protective orders is selected at random. Find the probability that the order was filed by a black person. So what we're going to do, right, in part A, this is not a conditional probability, okay? It's just a straight probability like we've been calculating before, okay? And so what we would do is, we've got this column right here for black, and we can look down at the totals of that column, and we see 147 people. All right, and then that is going to be the number of people in our event, and then we divide by the number of people in our sample spaces, our cases in our sample spaces, and that would be 407. Okay, so that's a probability just like we've been calculating before. All right, part B, they want to know what is the probability that the person is white and female. Okay, so that involves two variables, right? Race and gender. And so this is going to be given by one of the cells in our contingency table right here. So I just look at the intersection of white and female, and you can see that the number in that cell is 210. Okay. And then, so that's the number of people or cases where the person is white and female, and then the total, right, is 407. That's the number of people or cases in our sample space. Okay, so we get 210 over 407. All right, again, that is not a conditional probability. That's a probability like we've been calculating in the previous section. All right, so next up, we are asked to calculate in part C, what is the probability that the order was filed by a male? So probability of a male given that the filer was white. Okay. Okay, so what we would do, right, in here is, remember, this is a conditional probability, right? We're given that that we know the race of the person, right, and then we're asked to calculate what's the probability that they are a male. Okay, and so now our sample space is down to the people in this category, in the white column here, right? So that would be 240, total number of people there. So that would be the bottom number. That's now our sample space, right? And then what we want to look at, right, is the number of people who are in this category, right, in the male category, who are also in the white category here. Okay, so that would be 30, right? This number right here. Okay, we would not count the others, right? Because remember, the top number is how many people are in the event male and also, right, in the event white here. So that would be 30 out of 240. Okay, next up in part D, they want to know what is the probability that the person is a male given that the filer was black. Okay, so that again is a conditional probability, right? I've given that the filer was black, and so now what we want to do is calculate the probability of the event that they are male. Okay, and so again, our sample space, right, would be the black people who were filers in here. So I would look in that column under race, right, and look all the way down to 140 and get the number. So the bottom number then is 147. Okay. All right, and so that is our sample space now. And now what we want to know is for the top number, right, the number of people in this event that are also in this, right? So we look for all the males who are black, right? There are 26 people here in that event, okay? And so the probability would be 26 out of 147, okay? So here you can see in the first two parts, we were calculating just a regular probability, not a conditional probability. Again, that's stuff that we did in a previous section. Here we were calculating conditional probabilities, right? And so our sample space now then was pared down, right, to this event right here. White, which was 240 in part C, black, which was 147 in part D, okay? And then the top number in each case was the number of males who are white, and this part D was the number of males who are black. The number of people in the first event who are also in this second event as well. All right, and that is it on that one.